Hello and welcome to day 4. Well done for showing up again for yourselves today. The intention for today is a bit more of an affirmation. So an affirmation is a kind of promise we make to ourselves. Life can be so busy and carving out time for you can sometimes take a back seat. But you're here and that shows your dedication to yourselves. And I know that we can sometimes carry the weight of the world on our backs, and that can sometimes feel like an actual literal physical pain and weight. So making these moments to build a little bit of strength and stability and just to take care of yourself are so vital. So I'm glad you're joining me here again today, and we're going to start off with a little bit of a breathwork practice before we get into our movements. So taking your comfortable seat, whatever that might be, on a chair, on the ground. Feel a nice sense of your spine being upright but at ease, a kind of buoyancy through it. Choose to close your eyes or keep them open if that feels right. And just tuning in. Noticing whatever's present for you here and now. Noticing if there is anything getting in the way of you feeling fine right now. Maybe it's a worry or a concern of some kind that is creating a little bit of weight. And we'll just maybe set this time to free up a little bit of space. So not that we're trying to push away anything, but that we are observing it, noticing, acknowledging, and then if we can, just letting that go. So as we breathe in, filling up, breathing in space, and as you breathe out, gently breathing out through the mouth, letting go. And again, breathing in, filling up into the space of your body, really using your diaphragm, primary muscles of respiration to fill up the belly. And then breathing out completely, letting go. One last one, breathing in. Your intention, your affirmation, showing up for yourself regularly and consistently. Breathing out through the mouth, letting go. You can gently blink your eyes open and then we'll head on over to the mat. We're going to start in standing today. So just coming to a really comfortable stance. You could have your feet hip distance apart, a little bit closer. Just see what feels nice. We're going to rock forward and back on our feet a couple of times, just warming up through the ankles. You could rock from side to side. Just getting a sense of our foundation through our feet. Noticing the little arches of the feet, maybe noticing into the little pads at the bottom of the feet, and maybe tuning into the kind of springiness that we have through the feet, through those arches. Good. Okay, we're going to start a little bit of a mind-body connection. So we're working on our glutes today. So taking your hands onto your glutes, so that kind of feedback. Receiving touch and giving touch. You might just squeeze a little bit, so engaging your muscle, but also squeezing your glutes so you can feel them switching on and know kind of what we're working with today. So just kind of really starting to spark that intention of how and what we're going to be working today. Good. Okay, from there, just coming into a position where you can start to shift the weight over into one foot, and then we're going to move one leg back. So it's just a little mini balance. So you might even take your hand onto your right glute again and just notice how it's sort of swished on. So this kind of hip extension connected to that glute activation there. And also a little bit of balance work, yeah? And then we'll switch over. Swapping legs, bringing the weight into the right leg as you reach back. Again, you can use your hand again if you need to, or if you kind of get the idea now that that leg is switching on. And you can notice that maybe a little bit of work in the hamstring here as well. Just really starting to connect through mind and body. Okay, gently release. We'll make our way to the top of the mat, breathing in, reaching up, we'll lengthen. And then fold forward. You could bend the knees if you need to. You might take hold of opposite elbow with opposite hand here. And just allow yourself to take a little sway. Relax through neck, shoulders. Breathing into your belly. Feeling that nice sense of ease through the back body. Releasing. And then hands to the earth. We'll walk the feet back. And come all the way down to your knees. So our tabletop kind of shape here. Okay, stabilizing, so through the hands, spreading nice and wide, just really feeling quite organized about the placement so you feel supported. And then we're going to extend back through that right foot. So I'm just going to suggest that we broaden across the toes to begin with. Press back through the center of your heel so you feel a little stretch out through the center of the calf muscle. And then can you lengthen the lower back a little bit? So it's almost like you'll feel that slight pelvic tilt forward, and then maybe floating that right leg off the ground. So maybe you feel a little bit of your hamstring switch on here a little bit more. Maybe that glute you can lift a little bit higher, maybe as high as your hip. You don't have to go too high because you might bring a little bend into your back. So just finding where that feels nice, and then extend forward through the left arm. And we're going to hold here, feel into the little wobbles and adjustments through your body as it sort of finds its way through space here. And then as you exhale, if you like, you could bend the knee, bend the elbow, draw everything in towards center. So it's a little crunch. Reach forward, lengthen back, and we'll do two more. Drawing everything in, feel those little wobbles. That's all good. It is a balance bilaterally. Balancing. And last one, extending forward. And release. And again, you could take a little wiggle here, releasing out, and then opposite leg extends back. So you could broaden across the toes again, reach back, getting that little stretch out through the sole of the foot, thinking about how everything is connected. Then a little bit of a lengthening through that lower back as you float the foot off the earth. Again, see if you can keep the hips nice and sort of neutral. You could lift a little bit higher if you like, but not super high. Just feeling into this space here. Notice the muscles there at the back. You could even use your right hand to see that muscle is switched on, and then extend forward through your right hand. On an exhale, we'll bring everything in towards center. Remember, you could just hang out in that sort of static shape. And drawing in for two. Last one. And reach and hand to the earth and just settling back down again. You could choose here to tuck the toes under, press back, take like a little, just a mini down dog, maybe with some movement if that feels nice, through the backs of the legs. And then we'll gently drop back down to the knees. We're going to walk the hands back to the legs. So we end up sitting in a kind of sort of sitting onto our shins position. So just make sure that feels okay for you. If you have your blocks nearby, you could sit up onto your blocks instead so that you have that little bit more space for behind the kneecaps, yeah? See what feels nice for you. And then from here, we're going to interlace the fingers and then turn the palms face forward, pushing forward. As you breathe in, we'll lift the arms, stretching up through the sides of the body. Bring the arms forward. You can round through the spine, so it's a little bit of almost a cat-cow type shape. You can reach up. Maybe there's a small back bend here. Rounding forward, lifting up, rounding forward. And then you could add on, if you like, as we lift up, you lift, bum away from heels, maybe squeeze the glutes a little bit at the top, and then exhale, round down. And we'll go again, lifting, a little squeeze, sinking back. Breathing in, lift up. Dropping back. Last one, lifting up. And dropping back, rounding in. Good, gently release the interlace of the hands. You could walk yourself off your blocks, pop them to the side, and then we're gonna come all the way down to side lying. So this is a really traditional one for strengthening your glutes, but it really works. So you're gonna have to make sure that your hips, your knees, and your ankles are in kind of one plane. So shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, yeah? So that's kind of the starting position. You could use your hand as a little bit of support. Can you feel as though that bottom waist is sort of lifting a little bit away from the earth? And then you're simply gonna lift that top leg, and we're gonna do about 10 repetitions. You can do more. You could do like 3 reps of 10. So we're on 7, 6. Try not to let yourself roll back so you feel connected. So just checking my mic. And lower. Good. We'll try for 2 and 1. Take a little pause. And we'll go again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1, release. Okay, we're gonna switch over so you can simply roll all the way over. I'm gonna tuck up and in and then roll to the other side. So again, just get that alignment good, well, because that's gonna really help to activate the right spot. So just checking, you can look back, use your hand as a support, make sure that bottom waist is lifting away, and lifting and lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, might feel different on one side to the other, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And last one, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yeah, again, really simple, but really effective. And then we're gonna roll all the way down onto the back. Again, just allow yourself to settle here. You might shift a little bit. Have your feet fairly close in, maybe like tickling distance away from your fingertips. And then we're gonna push down. Feel as though you're lengthening your tailbone forward towards the backs of your legs, lifting up. And we're not gonna go super high. So again here, just feeling to see if your glutes are switched on. The hamstrings might switch on just a little bit as well. You could either stay here for the duration of this little practice, or we're gonna lift the right leg up and then all the way up and to the earth for 10. So the trick is keeping both hips lifted at the same level. 9. So you should feel that quite a bit in your left glute. 7, 6. Remember, you could stay in your bridge as well. You'd still be working the muscles. 5, 4, 3. Make sure both hips are level. You could use your hands to give you that little bit of feedback. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Gently bend the knee. You could take a little pause here, releasing the legs down. Remember, if any of this causes you any pain, you stop, right? Okay, other side. Pushing down, lift up. Pressing down through that right foot. Sending the left leg forward and up. Keeping both hips level. Lifting for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, stabilizing, 2, and 1. Gently release. Hips come to the ground. You could give yourself a little rock from the side to side. Well done. Simple, but challenging. And then we're going to draw the knees in. And all these things are really great for just helping to stabilize those back muscles. See what feels nice here. You might hug in the knees. You might let them move forward a bit. Maybe taking a couple of rotational movements through the knees. See what feels nice in your body. All right, then we're going to gently roll over, sitting up, and allowing yourself to take a little pause here. Hand on heart. I take daily, regular action to make gradual progress. I take daily, regular action to make gradual progress. Thank you so, so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure, as usual. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.